man. Season 7, man. Just for the people who don't know, April 13, 2024. Me, Quita Perk, we coming to Oklahoma City, man. We're going to buy a cigar shop, man. We're going to have a live podcast episode April 13, 2024 at 7:30 p.m. at the 405 Cigar Shop. Man, if you're in the city, in Oklahoma City, make sure y'all swing by. Come kick it with the cab, man. Who knows? You might be on the show.
Mi cama, bien loquita. Cara de santa, pero es una bandida. Que loquita. Tiene mala fama, pero esa es su vida. Pues loquita. Fuma conmigo, champán y bebida. Pues loquita. Vamos a portarnos mal. No busco nada normal.
The primary purpose of the CAF podcast is to express platform for creatives to express their personal views or opinions without restriction or censorship. All views or opinions expressed during the CAF podcast are solely those of individuals expressing such views or opinions and does not reflect the views of the CAF podcast.
Here we go. Season 7 CAF podcast, we back. First of all, let me say this. April 13, 2024, the Cal Podcast is going to be at 405 Cigar Spot in Oklahoma City. I think that's a week, maybe 2 weeks from now. But we're going to be out there, and it wouldn't be right if we coming out there and we didn't bring somebody on from Oklahoma. I don't think too many people know too many people from Oklahoma. At the time, I didn't. And then I met one person from Oklahoma, and then they worked at Langston. That's another story for another day. And they start recruiting in Oklahoma. And I was like, there are really black people in Oklahoma. Not knowing that Tulsa is in Oklahoma. Heard about Tulsa, heard about the massacre, but didn't realize Tulsa, Oklahoma, didn't put two and two together until I got to college. And I met somebody, you was the first, you was the third person. But this young lady we got on, first of all, former Gremlin, she left. We'll talk about that too.
Yeah.
First of all, for people who don't know, she's a baller, basketball player. She can knock down a three from any point. Also, I just found out that she's a fiance.
I am.
And a mother.
I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CAF, the one and only Miss Dayla. And yes, her last name is Threat with a 2 T.
Yeah.
So welcome to the CAF, Dayla. Welcome to the CAF.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, let me say this. With your personality, podcasting, if you ever thought about getting into it or even anything else, you'll be successful in it. And I'm glad we're your first podcast.
Oh, well, thank you. I hope I do good.
If you don't trust me, you won't be the worst. We got plenty of people. Matter of fact, if you want to, you go to our YouTube page and look at our first episode. Oh man, we was trash. We was trash. Like you could tell, you could see the growth in our podcast from that episode up to now.
That's amazing. Amazing.
But we stole this from Charlotte. Dayla, welcome back to the CAF, man. We're so happy to have you in the CAF and everything. So the first question that we ask Dayla is, how is your mental health?
Mental health. Honestly, I would say it's better now. I did struggle a lot early on, where I actually had to seek a therapist at one point in time, because I didn't realize how much anxiety I had. And then when I did seek it, I got to know the difference between anxiety and also depression, which I just assumed growing up with my mom, you can handle it. As the woman of the house, you take on this. You're supposed to take on this. But actually speaking with someone and being open to that topic of discussion, it opened different doors where it actually helped me in my current relationship and also helped me with my son. And also understand the balance, whatever workload I have for my self-care as well. So I think it has helped tremendously.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you got to break that down, because when you say anxiety and then depression, like I think most people don't know the real difference. So break that down when you talk about anxiety and depression. Like, what is the difference between the two?
So with this, anxiety is things that you feel before a situation happens. Depression is typically something after a situation happens. So like anxiety is like, for example, like you need to pay your bills. Okay, you have that anxiety like, okay, I need to pay my bills or I need to do this, or you're thinking of the what ifs. The depression is, okay, your lights are off.
Yeah.
Now we're
Okay.
sitting here, you know, and now what I have to do something, but I'm sitting in the dark right now.
Okay.
So that's kind of how they had to break it down to me and have me understand that aspect of it.
Wow, well, let me say this. Congratulations to you for getting that taken care of. Because most people, well, let me take that back. I want to say after the pandemic, I think most people start seeking therapy and getting help.
Yeah.
Because I think, especially as Black people, we going through a lot. Even me, I'm looking to start therapy, but I want to do the whole couch thing.
Yeah.
Uh, like I just want to do that. I don't want to do it on no Zoom, or I don't want to go to nobody office
Right.
and it's two chairs. Nah, if you ain't got a couch, I'm walking out.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And
So
I think it all depends on the person too, where if that's your comfort spot, then you need to seek that and don't change your standards for no one because some doctors will just to get a check. I ain't gonna lie to you. Just to say, hey, let's zoom right quick. And then you're done. It took me a minute to find my particular therapist. I found mine through my job because it
yeah,
got to a point where I will have my meetings with my supervisor
yeah.
and I was breaking down crying every time. Exactly. So it got to the point where through my job, luckily, they actually cover my sessions.
Hmm.
So it's kind of what I got to choose between I think 5 different ones in the beginning. And then I just chose the one that just kind of just sat with me and then we just kind of built a relationship. And then now I call when needed. I'm like,
That's,
hey, I just need to talk right quick.
oh, wow. That's what's up. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Especially yeah, especially like because I've been following for you. I've known you for a while. It's like you've been on a little roller coaster because like baby, then you get proposed to. Then next thing you know, you in Vegas with New Edition. Like so yeah, I know you need that. Or he probably need that because well I'll just tell everybody, go follow De La Thread on Instagram. So you'll see everything I'm talking about. So but yeah, that's good to hear because that question we ask everybody because literally after the pandemic and with everything people went through, like we really need to start checking on our people just to see how they really doing. So
Yeah.
when we ask that question, it's not one of those, oh, this would be a good question to ask on the podcast. It's like, nah, we really want to know it, and especially as a Black woman and the
Right.
stuff I've seen, yeah, I really want to know.
For sure. For
So
sure.
now the next question, I gotta be, I'm trying to switch it up and find a better way to say it, but
Yeah.
I gotta just ask it, because with everything going on with Black women, that it seems like y'all are on attack at least 95% of the day. So Dayla, as a mother, now you're married, or not married, a fiance. Dayla, do you have some type of protection to protect yourself when you're not with your fiance?
So
So you see
funny
how I said.
story.
So let me say this before you get to the story because I used to ask ladies, do you have a gun and a gun license? And some ladies are in some states where they have the gun, but they don't have a
But
license.
not the license.
So I had to
Correct.
switch it up. So that's why I say
Understand.
protection. So, but floor is yours.
So I'm actually in the process of getting a license. Um, I've been around them my whole life, of course. Like I'm
Okay,
a good old
Oklahoma.
country girl. What do
I'm
you
Oklahoma.
expect? You know what I mean?
Oklahoma.
Um, but just to have that safety net, just in case if something does happen, I have the paperwork to find behind it. But it took me a while to actually do that. I used to have a bad temper. And for the longest, my mom didn't even want me to have one because she was like, you're a loose cannon.
Mm, yeah.
And I didn't realize how bad it was until, of course, I seek therapy. Um, like the smallest thing could trigger me. And it was a good thing I probably didn't have one, but I try to, if I do keep it, I keep it where my son doesn't know, of course. Um, keep it near me at all times where it's not like he can just go roaming through my car or anything and find it. Because that's the biggest thing that scared me whenever I had him. I was like, even if we have a safe, like kids now are smart where they can figure out a safe code now, or it's just little things like that. So I actually didn't carry one for a long time, and I just started getting into it again, probably like 6 months ago, because he does work. He's an AAU coach, so he travels in the summer. So typically in the summer, it's just me and my son, and that's what really made me want to go get my license and do it the right way this time.
Gotcha. All right, just had to ask because
Yeah.
protected. Because like
Yeah.
literally, and once again, going back to the pandemic, I'm sitting down. I didn't really know. Like I'm on Twitter, and it just seemed like every day it was a black woman getting attacked. Like if it
Yeah.
was, like one lady, I say this story all the time. If it wasn't for her dog, that guy would have got her.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure it's been going on for years. But these Ring cameras and these door cameras is catching it all. Like if
Yeah.
you go to our IG page, I got one of the videos of where, like, thank God that lady closed that door because that dude was coming for her.
Yeah. It's sad. It's truly sad. But you have to protect yourself.
Yeah. Like I told
You
my
have to
sister, she moved to Texas. She didn't want no gun, but I gave her a taser where it got
Mhm.
4,500 watts. But I told her go get that license just in case you change your mind. You can go get a gun whenever you want
Right.
to. But I don't know if Texas open to carry, but I shouldn't be saying that over these airways. So I'm gonna leave that alone.
Okay.
So, Dayla, season 7 in the cap. This season we call it "It's Whatever." Now, let me get this. Let me say this because it's funny that it's whatever because I didn't really take you for a loose cannon. You was always giggly and smiley and upbeat. Like I barely seen you out of character. Like all I know is the smiling Dayla. So where
That's
has
that's
what this
that's the
pent
crazy
up?
part.
Yeah, where all this
Um,
pent up aggression what you was keeping during the years I've known you? Like, was it?
I think it was one of those I was good at keeping it in. And certain things would trigger me. Um, it could just be something from like a childhood trigger or just like a new trigger because going to Grambling, I'm not gonna say I was sheltered, but it was a lot of stuff that I did not know until I got there. So certain things would trigger me, and then it's like I'll have my moments, but even during my fights that I've had, I was laughing, like full blown laughing as I'm fighting. So at that point, I knew something was wrong with me.
Yeah, you just laughed and say that. Yeah, we
Yeah.
know that now. Yeah, we know that now. Go ahead, continue.
But it's just kind of that's just always been me. I've always just been that good, bad, or indifferent. I'm gonna laugh. We gonna have a good little time. I'm gonna have my moment, but we're gonna come right back. It's just kind of like, let's settle this, but we about to have fun. So I've always been like that.
Yeah. Boy, you learn something new every day.
I
Learn something
know.
new. Like you see, like like that's the Dayla I know. I ain't no Dayla squad up.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes they take you there because they just think you just laughing.
Okay. Now,
Then you gotta show them.
being from Oklahoma, how's that
Yes.
growing up? How's being from what do y'all call yourself? Oklahomans?
Okies.
Okay, Okie. How has being an Okie growing up shaped your life to the woman that you are now?
I would say it has shaped me because Oklahoma is growing for sure, but they have that family connection vibe. Um, basically kind of one of those things everybody knows your name.
Okay.
That's basically like Oklahoma. And I grew up, um, my mom has 15 brothers and sisters. My
God,
dad has 9.
Jesus.
So everybody in Oklahoma is my cousin. They always think I'm joking, but I'm like, no, seriously, like that's my
Literally.
cousin. Because literally after my mom's siblings, and then their first cousins, probably on each side of how the tree goes, it has been over 10 kids. So the family dynamic is very, very big. And just having that family support and just that You learn how to not be selfish. You learn how to care for others. I'm a nurturer just by being around so many family. Um, so I think just being in Oklahoma is not a fast pace. It's kind of like a slower pace, but at the same time, you learn the tools that you need to learn for you to live and survive.
Yeah, I've been to Oklahoma twice, and well, I say the first time I went there, it was for a basketball trip. Second time I went there, it was I think we were in Oak. No, it was where's Oral Roberts, Tulsa.
Oh, Robert Sosa.
Yeah, and it was like just a lot of land,
Yeah.
just a lot of land. Like I can handle it, but I got to get somewhere to a city sooner or later.
See, I think if when you come to Oklahoma City, you'll see a difference because we are growing. They are actually currently building like a resort here, and then building two resorts here. Um, and also just like little different things around. They built a Scissortail Park where they have concerts out there, they have food trucks out there. It's right in the midst of downtown. So I think when you come, of course, we was already gonna link up, but I could just kind of like show you kind of like the new growth that the city has. And I think Tulsa's growing too, but I feel like it's a different feel for Oklahoma City area when you actually come back because we have grown a lot since. Because when did you come down here? What year?
Woohoo! Last time
Yeah.
13.
Oh, yeah. It's been so much stuff going on now. They added on highways and all that. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's been a hot. Yeah, it's been a hot little minute. Yeah. So now, being your mother and dad got big siblings, is that where the competitive in basketball came from, or that was just something you picked up?
I think that's just something that I picked up in all honesty. Because I didn't start playing basketball till I was in sixth grade.
For those who don't know, Dayla's a straight up hooper. She can shoot the ball. I know I said that. Oh, no. Oh, I gotta say it again because the little accident. Yeah, Dayla's a
Understand.
hooper. Dayla can shoot that thing and play and had a Division I scholarship. She transferred from Grambling to where did you
Cameron
transfer?
University
Where's that?
in Lawton.
That's in Oklahoma.
That's it, Oklahoma.
Okay, but she can hoop. So you said that you didn't start playing basketball till the sixth grade. So I'm assuming you had a growth spurt between sixth to ninth.
Sixth to ninth. Well, I would say from eighth to ninth. Sixth grade, I was just tall, so I was just there. They called me Tinkerbell. I was literally the prettiest girl on the
That
team.
that is
Ran on
true.
my tippy
That
toes.
is true.
Didn't care about breaking a nail. And then the aggressiveness started. I think want to say going into my freshman year, I think I ended up getting my first charge. And my mom was the only one in the stands cheering. Everybody else was upset. And she was like, my baby is aggressive now. And that was the first time I think it just kind of turned on a light for me. And I'm just like, from that moment on, there was the aggressive Dayla.
And I don't think it went back.
I,
Okay. And so I always want to ask people this when they choose a school, why Grambling at the time?
so at the time, um, I was actually being recruited by Danita Rogers and Tony Green. Um, I'll never forget. My mom ended up, I always wanted to go to a HBCU. So whenever I got the opportunity, I kind of already knew like that's where I was going to go, but I was scared to leave my mom because I mean, we never had the distance between us.
I get it.
So it was, it was one night she made me so mad. And I was just like, I'm going to Gremlin. And she was like, huh? I called up Tony Green. I met him at a gas station and signed my letters right there and was like, I'm going to Gremlin. Just and then when I got dropped off, I was like, I just signed. And now my mama's about to leave me. But that was literally how I signed to Gremlin. I had a disagreement with my mom. I called up Tony Green Met him at a gas station, signed right there. And then from that moment, it's just been history. Because I cried the first couple days, of course. And then Grambling just made me feel at home, like instantly. I was telling Mama I got it. Went to my first Grambling party and everything. I thought I was from Louisiana.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when I like so for me, I'm glad I didn't go to college straight out of high school because
Oh, yeah.
I think I would have, yeah, I don't know what would have happened, but I'm glad I stayed home for at least those first years. But it was to me, because when I got to school, I had to do a lot of things because at the time, I know this might sound crazy. I wasn't even washing my own clothes. I would put my clothes in a bag and get them to my mama, and she would wash them.
See?
So I got to college. Now I gotta wash clothes and I gotta separate white from color. Can't put gray over here. And I'm like,
Yep.
now you gotta learn the different type of washing powder because I can't do powder. I gotta do liquid. Gotta get the right type of fabric softener. If you ain't got no fabric softener when you put it in your clothes, it's like and then you gotta get the dry. Then you gotta get the dry sheets because then when you get your clothes, it's all static and you just shocking yourself putting on a t-shirt and drawers. So it was just like, oh man, now I love washing clothes. I wash clothes and fold them on the regular.
See?
Like if you wanna see me at peace, let me wash some clothes.
Oh, wow. Now
Like
that's different. I will say that's different. I don't hear too many men say that.
what? Listen, whoever my wife be, she gonna be happy because I'm gonna wash, fold, bras, thongs, girdles, all that. Like I don't play that. When it comes to washing, like look, I make sure I get the right type of powder. The dry sheets, I get the good ones. I don't get that dollar store shit. Mm,
Well,
mm-mm.
that's good.
Yeah, so yeah. Now, what led to your demise to leave dear old Grambling?
So your girl's having a little bit too much fun out there.
Uh-huh.
And the mom was like, yeah, before it gets too bad, because you're in chocolate heaven right now,
Mm,
I think you need to switch schools.
mm,
So she's the one who actually like forced that I actually left. Um, I didn't want to leave, but it was one of those decisions. Of course, if you under your mom's roof, you gotta do what she say, kind of thing. Because at the time, I wasn't paying for anything. She was covering all my bills and all that. So I was like, well. And then when I went to Cameron, it was literally like night and day. Not even gonna lie, because in high school, it was basically an all black school. Grambling was an all black school. Even though I was around like different races and things, it was still all black. When I went to Cameron with the diversity, I literally stayed in my room for 2 weeks and did not leave
mm.
because of just that culture shock. And what's crazy, I have family members that are mixed and that are different races. But when you're actually in that environment where it's just like you're the one out of the 10, it's kind of like, what are you thinking about? Like it's different mindsets that go on when you're in that position if you've never been there. Um, the only reason I had to get out is because I played basketball at Cameron and we had to do workouts and I had to talk to my coach at the time and he was just telling me, just come to this practice. And then we had to kind of like casually work myself up from my room to the gym. Okay. Now my room to the gym to the calf, and just kind of, it was definitely, I went through a major culture shock.
Not Dayla. I understand being in your room, but we still gotta eat.
Oh, I
I'm
was cooking
going.
in my room.
Oh no. We going to the I look if it's getting paid for, I don't care if I ain't paying for this free. I'm going to that camp. I might when I first got to Grambling, I didn't really know nobody, so going to like breakfast, I'm always gonna go, and breakfast ain't too many people in there. But
Right.
lunch and dinner, I would go like lunch would be over for the calf will be over at 1. So I will go to lunch around about 12:30 because everything died down. Dinner,
Right.
is over by 7. So I would go around about 6. I would go about 6:30. But I'm still gonna go. I ain't standing in that room
Nah,
and I know it's food over here.
nah, 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 nah. I was in there cooking it up.
It's,
I
it's,
was
it's,
binge watching my
it's
shows.
only so much
Oh, you couldn't tell
cereal
me
and cooking you
nothing.
can do. Mm-mm. That,
When I
like,
tell you I was mixing it up, I didn't know I could make 15 different types of ramen. Learned that one. I end up making homemade waffle mix where in the mornings I just put it in the waffle iron, make some eggs. That was breakfast. Um, Pasta always went a long ways with me. Cajun pasta, spaghetti, chicken Alfredo. Oh, I was in my own little world. You never even would have thought that I was on the basketball team because I was in my own world, literally.
that's terrible.
No, it's a good thing. I learned a lot
No,
about myself.
I
I
know,
learned
I
a
get it.
lot about myself in solitude.
For you, for you, that's good. For me to listen to that, that's terrible. There's no way I'm gonna stay away from that cow. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like
But listen, we got
I got
over it.
I gotta understand prison.
You said
Man,
prison.
but college, and I know it's a difference between Grambling and Cameron, but I mean they still got salt and pepper on the table.
Yeah,
Okay. Now we gotta go back because you said something that was quite fascinating. And I think a lot of people don't understand. But you said you was in chocolate heaven.
it was chocolate heaven.
You gonna
That's
have to.
exactly what my mom, and I didn't even realize that was a thing until she said something. And I was like, what you talking about? And then when I went out there, I was like, wow, wow. You have everybody from all over the United States, different personalities, different type. You like, can I make a man? It's like it was all over, and it was like it was good vibes with everybody. Like you did not see not one bad vibe. Everybody was like nice to you. They were friendly. It's
Mhm.
like it was kind of like how I grew up. So I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a vibe regardless. So like even sometimes with going like as soon as I leave practice, I'm like, hold on, they got the DJ in the cab. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm running to the cab, the cab, the yard. It was Grambling is definitely an experience that I feel like everyone should at least witness.
Mm.
It's definitely
Sure.
a vibe. I don't know about it now. Haven't been there.
I don't know either. I'm on the outside looking in.
Yeah. I think the last time I went to homecoming, it was 4 years ago,
Me was
I want
18.
to say. Huh?
Me it was 2018.
Yeah, it was for actually it was 2000. Dang, was it that long ago?
Me was 18 because I know 19 we was talking about it. And then I didn't make it. Well, nobody made it 2020.
Yeah, no. No, then it either had to be 18 or 19 when I went. Do you remember seeing me when you went?
No.
Then it had to be 19.
Like, cause cause we got to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then that night, I do remember it was cold as hell that night, but we was outside 4 o'clock in the morning. We did not care. 38
Yeah.
degrees. We did not care.
Hey,
We
post it
was
up.
outside. We was outside. I'm talking.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about 1 o'clock in the 1 o'clock p.m. I'm talking about 1 o'clock a.m. where it's getting night and that wind blowing and it's getting colder and colder. And the only thing you got is to take because I don't drink, so I would take a sip of liquor just to keep myself warm.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah, I think it was 19 when we went because I ended up picking up my old teammate Alexis out of Dallas that year. And then we just came up there and we hung out for the weekend. Yeah.
yeah, Cal Podcast, man, season 7 is whatever. We got Miss Dayla Threat in the cap with us. How you enjoying it so far? Has it been shocking? But have we done anything you were like, oh my God, y'all not what y'all say y'all are?
No, I'm enjoying this. And I haven't talked to you in forever, so I'm definitely enjoying this.
I know. It's the whole vibe. It's the whole vibe. So now let's pick it up a little bit because you are a mother.
Yes.
How's that lifestyle working out for you? Because you did say you are a nurturer. So when now you got your own, what is that lifestyle like for you? Or how is it treating you?
I love it. I love being a mom.
And a boy mom
Good,
on
bad.
top of that.
Boy, hey, we different. If I would have had a girl, this would be a whole different thing we'll be talking about. Because I'll be raising a little mini me, which is whew. But I'm enjoying motherhood like to the fullest. Just even watching the aspects of the growth, the speaking, the now making sentences to getting him in school. It's a beautiful transition.
Did you see
And I
yourself? Did you see this for yourself? Like one day, when you was like, I don't really want kids.
oh no, I think before I wanted like 4 kids. Like off top, I remember in high school, I was like, I'm gonna have 4 kids, I'm gonna have a suburban, I'm gonna do all this, I'm gonna be like the boy moms where we go to sporting events, football mom. Um, but now after having this one, I think I'm just good with one.
I mean,
Because one
you know,
kid, we can still travel the world, we can still do all this, and it's not gonna be taxing. It's
I
like
mean, you never know what God plans, and He might give you one more. Get you a
he
little
might.
little Dayla Threat
Ooh,
Junior.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what scares me. Um, but I'm sure that God will give me the strength to push through that no matter what. But um, I'm just enjoying the ride, in all honesty. I'm just enjoying every second. I'm surprised he hasn't came in here yet. Cause he definitely I told him I was gonna be on here and he was like, can I come? I was like, no, 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 no. But I keep hearing him, so I feel like he may join us soon.
It's
So just
cool.
a heads up.
It's cool. He ain't gonna understand. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. When we get to the Cal podcast questions, he gonna have to
Hmm.
leave. He gonna have to leave.
For sure.
So, but let me say this because uh as a person who is in sports, it's gonna be some moments where like me, I didn't have when it came to sports, my grandma, she didn't know much about it. So she gave me books to read. But that get boring
Mhm.
sometimes you want to talk to somebody. It's gonna be
Right.
something where y'all gonna be at the game. He gonna say, Mama, what's that? Well, that's a post screen.
Yeah.
Well, he just did a down and under. You see how he did that?
Right.
That's 3 seconds in the lane. You can't be in there all day, baby. Like
Right.
that, like those moments, even if he not in the even in the sports like that, just you're gonna be able to have them conversations with him.
For sure. And I think what gets me, I'm very competitive. So he's playing in the Y right now. Kind of on and off at the Y. And I'm the one that if he scores a basket, I'm running down the sidelines. I'm like, you go, boy, you go, boy. And what I'm having to learn
That's Dayla.
is, I have to kind of sit back and
That's
let him
embarrassing.
because I do know.
That is embarrassing. But go ahead.
Well, I will say he's my child, so he's a
That's it.
showboater.
Oh, never
So
mind.
he
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 look.
looks for he looks
Oh,
for
never
me.
mind. Yeah.
He's like, Mama, come
Point. That's,
on. And what's crazy, he's only 3 and he's picking up on certain things because he watched basketball, he watches football. Like he's literally a mini human that's just like taking everything in. He does the little dances that they do, and just watching him do that at the age of 3 is just it's mind blowing because I didn't really get into sports till later. So to
Mhm.
see him take it in, and then all of a sudden we outside, he's doing a route. He like, Mom, watch my route. He do like his little route. He want me to throw the football, and I'm like, how do you know what that is yet? Like, but different times, social media definitely is different from whenever I was growing up to now where he is. He knows how to work an iPad when I just learned 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's definitely different times when it comes down to that aspect.
Has he seen you play?
He has. And when I tell you I have to ball out to let him know I'm not the one to mess with. I was in
Lord.
like a little league where I helped and a couple of my other friends, they're head coaches at different high schools out here. So during their off season, I may go up there and play like little game or two with some of the players and the coaches. And just to kind of keep myself in shape to a certain extent, because I felt for a moment I didn't pick up a basketball for 8 years. A good no, 7. It was 7 years I didn't pick up a basketball, and I picked up one, I wanna say, like, less than a year ago, because it was this past year, and it just felt like everything just came back. It was, like, normal for me. It was like I just needed 5 minutes to do practice warm-up shots, and then I was I was on the go again. It just came natural, but for some reason, I was always, iffy about if I got back out there, I was gonna get hurt. And I
Oh,
said, now that I'm a mom, if I get hurt, like I have to raise a kid. Now he's crawling, now he's moving. I can't get hurt. And then before too, it was because of how everything ended with basketball. Um, I didn't like it no more. So I think the love is starting to come back through my son
yeah.
because he likes sports and he wants me to play and stuff like that. So I think it's a different love that's there now, that could reconnected me with basketball.
I'm just telling you right now, stretching is gonna be the most important
Oh,
thing. Stretching. I don't care. No, no, no. We ain't gotta work on layup. Let's take 20 minutes and let's just
yep,
stretch this body. I have felt pain that I have never felt before, and I've
agreed.
learned I have to stretch before and after.
And after,
And I remember Coach Powell, uh
yeah,
she told me something. She said, I remember we were talking, she was like, AJ, do you know what we do at practice? I was like, what? She was like, we don't do this. She said they put 30 minutes on the clock, that first 30 minutes for warm up with the coach and do stuff else. Once we get done with that, we break. They give us another 20 minutes. We are stretching.
mhm,
And then we go another 30 minutes or 45 minutes, depending on how the coach feels. Then we pick up a ball, run up the court, do drills and all that. And
yeah,
then 25 minutes later, guess what we're doing? We're back
stretching.
stretching, and then we leave.
Yeah,
And I was
mhm,
like, that's why y'all doing all that stretching? And now I know
yeah, it's different.
it's
And that's
different.
why that's why I messed up. I thought I was like, oh, I could stretch for like 5 minutes, just do some little BS stretch. And I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, let me go out there. When I felt that muscle pull, I said, yep, let me sit down.
Lower back pains. No, 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 no. We gotta stretch. Who's the shortest person? Walk on this back for me real
Yeah,
quick.
for real. Because I've had 2 ACL surgeries.
Mm.
So one of them happened my freshman year of high school. The other one happened my freshman year when I was at Grambling.
Mhm.
Um, since then, nothing has been the same. Like nothing has been the same. I can't even when it's cold outside, my
Oh.
knee does not go all the way down to the ground. Like if I'm sitting on the ground, my knee is a 45-degree angle. It does not fully go down to the ground.
Mm.
So it's certain things that even without the sports, I have to stretch. I have to still do certain things. And I even have like a little treadmill where I just have to like walk while I'm working because I work from home. So I
Mhm.
have it in front of my desk where I'm just constantly moving just to kind of get that. Because if I sit too long, my knees lock up. And I'm like, well, perks of getting older, I guess. But I think just staying active and don't confine to, oh, it hurts. And then it just gets worse over time.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to stay in shape.
Yeah.
Trying.
Don't worry, you got a son, so sooner or later you're gonna figure this out. Like, you know what? I shouldn't eat this hamburger.
Right.
Let me just go to this Smoothie King and get this smoothie and just work on that.
subscribe button too if you want to see more podcasts from Florida. Go follow our main man, Florida. Don't play with it.
Shout out to Florida.
Yeah,
Shout out to
shout out,
Florida.
huge shout out to Florida, man. Thank you for having me on. Yeah, it was perfect.
DJ Star.
So,
We trying.
now let's keep it moving. Fiance.
Yes.
Did you see
A whole
this
new
in-
world.
Yeah, real big word, because now you about to say I do. It's
I
one thing.
know.
It's one
For a
thing to have.
lifetime.
It's one thing to have a child. That's your assignment. But now you finna be attached to somebody.
I know. I will say, we have been together for 5 years.
Mhm.
So it was something that we both seen coming, but we both wanted to make sure we were okay separately before we did this. Because we could have easily got married 2 years in, but we would have got a divorce
Mm.
shortly after. I will say that for sure. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Because at the time when we started talking, we dated for a solid year. And then we had a kid. And then we moved in together. And when you're in a relationship, you know, moving in with a person is not easy
No, it's not.
because you're learning a whole different person. The next one is, as you're moving in and growing with that person, you're trying to raise a kid from 2 different perspectives. So it was a lot that we had to battle and actually just sit down and just say, are we going to make this work or not? And if we are, we're going to fight for it. And what do we need to do? Kind of thing. I will say we have been open where therapy is now something that he's into. Before was not a thing. And I'm learning a lot. A lot of men do not like therapy.
Yeah.
A woman will be easier to go to therapy, but for a man, I'm supposed to know this. I'm supposed to hold my feelings. I'm supposed to do X, Y, and Z. Nobody needs to know what I'm doing. But when you hold all that in and then it comes out, it could come out as angry. And then also you lashing out on people who did nothing to you.
Yeah.
So I think it was one point where he just had a moment and he just exploded because there was so much going on. And I kind of just like, hey, would you be open to going to like a co-parenting class kind of thing? And I was telling him all the incentives that they have for it. He was like, yeah, let's just get this over with. When we got into it, he became invested. Now he's practicing different communication tools that they've shown us. Now it's a whole different perspective that we can use as parents to help our son. So before, we didn't have that. I could tell you right now, if we would have got married shortly a year or 2 years in, we would have been divorced 6 months later to a year, max. I know that for a fact we would not be together.
Well, you said something. You said y'all was willing to fight for it. Not I'm willing to fight for it. You said we was willing to fight for it. Well, I think that's where a lot of, and I'm just speaking for what I've seen and heard from, I think a lot of Black men, when the woman will try her best and she will fight.
Yep.
But the Black man would literally not. Well, let me switch it. I would say that a woman will put up, let's say, 80% of the fight and the dude would come with 20%, not 50-50. But it also some situations where it is switched where the man will go 80 and the woman go 20. But just the fact that she got a fat ass and she give him some, it's like everything working out where it's like, dude,
Right.
That's not a relationship.
It's not, because once you take sex out of it, what else can y'all both provide or bring to the table?
And especially with both of y'all now, y'all brought a child in the world. So it's
Right.
like, do I marry you because you had my baby, or do I marry you because you're the best thing for me?
And that is what I had to try to see if I was fighting for that. I had to do a lot of self-discovery on that because for the longest, I was like, am I fighting for this because we have a child together?
Yeah.
You know? And then I'm like, I don't want to be in a relationship where this is just for the kid because in
Not
my
that,
mind,
not that JC Penney picture.
yeah, because in my mind, the kid is going to grow up. What's going to happen after that? So my thing is, if we're fighting for this, we have to fight for one another because this is something that we want to do together. Not for him, because he's going to leave us. At some point in time, he's going to have to leave and be independent because I want him to be the strong role in his family. But and then that's when I discovered we're fighting for us. Like we truly do love each other. We truly do love being around each other. And what we have done too, which of course the women, we always implement something. But every Sunday we sit down and we talk about our week. It could be, hey, I'm doing this Monday, Friday. I'm doing this on Monday. I'm doing this on Friday, doing this Wednesday. We sit down every week and discuss that. And we always try to have, and because the schedules, we always try to have a date night at least once every 2 weeks or every week if we can. But every 2 weeks will be kind of like the max, like, hey, we need set time. And I have seen him where he has been actively like, hey, stop what you're doing. We about to do this. And that right there proves that he's showing initiative of he wants us to work, not me always nagging or me trying to force. Sometimes I'm tired and he may have to pick me up and say, hey, I know you're tired, but when you get finished doing what you got to do, come in here. Let's talk for 10 minutes about our week.
Hmm.
And when you see both parties initiated, you know that it's not just one-sided.
So when is the wedding date, or we haven't set one yet?
It will be July the 3rd
This year
this year
in Okie.
in Okie Land.
Okie Land. All right. Well, let me say it now. Congratulations. Like, just to
Thank
see, I'm proud of all my friends who like literally doing what they want to do, but also finding love. Cause out here in these streets, cause I'm daily, I don't know, I'm in these streets. I'm in these streets. It's fun, and you can find love for maybe 24 hours, 72 hours, maybe even a whole week. But once that week is up, sometimes you got to start back over. So to see people I know saying I do and finding their true love, it gives me hope that one day I can find mine. But until then, I'm in these streets.
I know that's right. Hey,
So
I was there.
right.
And it
So
was fun.
yes, it is. It is fun. So all right, Dayla. Now we finna get to our CAB podcast questions. Now these questions, yeah,
Okay.
tell your child, mommy needs mommy time. So this is adult time. Because I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. So some of the
Okay.
questions is gonna be one or the other. Some of the questions gonna be fill in the blank. There are a couple nasty questions. You're adult. You had a child. You done it before.
Okay.
And then I got one more
Right.
question. I got one more question after that, and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, so the first question, Dayla, love or money?
Mm. No, I'm gonna say love.
Okay.
Because no
Financial.
amount of money.
Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead. Go
no
ahead.
amount of money. I would say no amount of money can truly take from you actually in like finding a love.
Okay.
So I'll say
Financial literacy or health literacy?
health.
Okay. Now this one you can only pick 2 out of 3 or 1 out of 3. You can't pick all 3.
Okay.
T-shirt and panties, lingerie, or nothing at all.
T-shirt and panties or nothing at all.
That's the most common answer. All right. Dayla, what is your love language?
Um
You got You got physical
Reassurance.
touch,
Oh,
words of
yeah, physical touch. Yeah,
words of
physical touch.
affirmation. Dang, I had them written down. It's like 5 of them, but I
I
know
know I had
physical.
to think about it. I was like, what is it? But I want to say mine is either um mine is physical touch for sure. Physical touch.
It's physical touch, words of affirmation,
Gifts.
gifts. What's the other
Um
two? That's 3. Oh my God, I should know this because I gotta ask these
no, you're
questions.
good because I literally just went blank as well.
No, I should know this.
Um
16 more videos to do. I should know this off the top of my head.
oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, you should.
Jesus. What was what was the other two? I don't even feel like looking it up, but you said yours.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, Days, would you prefer a hair and nails day or a massage?
massage.
Deja, excuse me, Dayla, not Deja. Dayla, what have you learned about yourself in the last 5 years?
Self-love.
Ooh, that's good. Dayla, would you rather have sex on the beach or a balcony?
Balcony.
All right, I'm finna take you back to Graham.
Okay.
Bayou Classic or Dallas?
Mm. I'll do Bayou Classic.
Bayou Classic or Homecoming?
Homecoming.
Dayla, what is something that you're going to accomplish or already accomplished in 2024?
I'm about to graduate with my master's.
That's what's up. No limit or cash money?
Cash money taking over for the 99s and 2000s.
All you youngest pick cash money. So y'all good. All right. Dayla, would you rather get a long love text message or a long love letter?
Letter.
Dayla, if money, health, and time wasn't an issue, what is something that you would start today? If money, health, and time wasn't an issue, what is something that you would start today?
I will start my own um I just went blank. It's basically it's an idea that I've been having. It's basically kind of like a bar on the go that I've always wanted to start once everything kind of got settled.
Mhm.
Get like a little food truck and basically make it my own where I could kind of cut it in half and have like a bar on the go where like at weddings I could just slide it in there. They can get their own drinks from the disposal or have someone there make the drink as well and have that.
Good idea. Okay. Vacation or girls trip?
Girls trip is something that we can't even talk about to this day. So I'm choose a girls trip.
Let's not forget you just came from Vegas. So what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and we're gonna leave that alone. Okay. What is if you had to explain, if you had to get, excuse me, dang, if you had to tell somebody what to do in Oklahoma, what would you tell them to do? Well, let me switch it. I ain't say that right. If you had to explain, give some people some fun stuff to do, like during the day, nightlife, what would be something that you would tell them to do in Oklahoma? Where would you tell them to go?
um, I kind of been out the scene for a little bit. Um, you can
Because we
always go
know,
downtown,
because
bar hop.
you always know. Only thing people really know about Oklahoma is the University of Oklahoma and the Oklahoma Thunder, and if you want to get real sick, it's talking to black people, the Gap Band.
Yeah. Um, I mean, you can always go bar hop. That's a given there. I'm a country girl, so I love a good old country bar.
Mhm.
Um, they have a new family family fun bowling alley out here. They have a new racetrack out here where you can take your kids, and also they have adult nights for the racetrack, like the not racetrack, but the go karts. We also do have a horse racetrack where you can go out there. Um, gamble, the horses, drinks. We have multiple cigar lounges.
Oh, that's all I need to
Um,
know. That's all I need to
oh
know.
yeah, I used to work at Burn, a cigar lounge down here, and they have I think 6 locations around the United States. Burn by Rocky Patel. That's a good one. Um, that's pretty much all I could think of off the top of my head.
All right. We appreciate that. But for all the people out there from Oklahoma. Dayla,
Yeah.
what is your superpower? What is that one thing you do better than anybody else in the world? What is your superpower?
My superpower.
That one thing, no matter what, nobody can defeat you, beat you because that's just your thing. What is Dayla Threat superpower?
My superpower. Do I have one?
Everybody got one.
Hmm. Feel like I'm like a jack of all trades a little bit on some things. Um, Cooking, spades. Um,
Already niggerish to me. First two words out your mouth: cooking, spades.
hey, that's a good time right there.
Okay.
Spades or
Okay.
dominoes. If we gonna get serious, we can get active on that one. Um,
Sound real niggerish to me.
um,
And let me throw this out. The crazy part about it is, you saying all this stuff, you from Oklahoma.
I know. Yeah. Because I used to ride horses, but I stopped riding horses. So that's what I said. It's some things it's like I really don't know what my superpower would be. I could book a flight in 5 seconds, probably faster than anybody that you ever know.
So basically, your superpowers get people flued out. That's what I'm hearing.
Hey, listen, if you tell me you need to go there, I'll make it happen.
Three more questions. That was good. But I'm telling you right now, you're gonna be thinking about it this whole week. This whole week. The rest of the week, you're gonna like, what is
I
my
am.
superpower? Because you got one. Everybody has a superpower.
I have to think about that.
Don't fool yourself. You got a superpower. Okay. Uh Dayla, what are two things that you specifically love about black people? And don't be generic. And I stole this question from this what was the name of the podcast? What is that my guy Matt Hoffa, he running. And let me give you a scenario. He had Killer Mike on his podcast, and
Hmm.
Killer Mike is a room full of black men, room full of black men. And one person was talking about how black people do this. He was like, yeah, yeah, whatever. What is something that you love about black people? And the man said, I love our food. And he was like, nah, nah, nah. They love our food and our women too. What is something that you
Hmm.
specifically love about black people? And now the whole entire room was only one guy able to give two answers. So I'm asking you, Dayla, what is something that you specifically love about black people that's not generic?
Me, just from me growing up, I've never met an unfriendly black person.
Hmm.
In all honesty, um, everyone has been so personal, and even if they're a little standoffish or rude, you find out why, depending on where they're from.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody know we in this together, kind of thing. And that's one that I truly love about us. We stick together, good, bad, and different. We can make a joke. We can make a joke real quick about something that may cause us pain. That's another thing I like. Even through the pain, and black people go through a lot of pain, we can still make a joke about it, and we
Mm-hmm.
can still remember it, but we can still move forward from it
Gotcha.
and be successful.
Okay. Dayla, if you can ask God one question, what would it be?
If I could ask God,
One question.
hmm, I don't think I would ask him a question. I think if anything, I would just say thank you. I don't
Well,
think I will ever ask him anything. I wouldn't second guess anything that he has done. I'll just say thank you.
Okay. And then the Cal podcast question, we've been asking everybody this question since season 2 when we started this. And I'm real shaky about how I'm about to ask this, but I'm about to see because you are from Oklahoma. Who has the better pancakes, Whataburger or Cracker Barrel?
Mm, I gotta go with Cracker Barrel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Show Cracker Barrel up again. Okay, well, Dayla, this is the part of the show where we give you the flow. You can say what you want to say, promote what you want to promote. If you have anything, if not, we still gonna give you the flow. So the floor is yours.
All right. Well, I don't have anything, but it was good being on the podcast. Thank you for inviting me. And definitely don't be a stranger no more. Don't let 5, 10 more years go by and we don't talk. But I salute you with everything that you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
Your podcast is truly remarkable. And thank you again for having me.
No problem. Thank you so much. Now, I gotta ask this question because whenever I only had 3 people, well, excuse me, you'll be the third person I had on from Oklahoma. And I always ask people, I gotta ask about Black Wall Street because I heard of it, but I'm starting to learn more about it. And then on top of that, I'm starting to hear that there are certain people from Oklahoma who rarely talk about it. So if you can just give us a little bit of what you know and how you feel about everything as being somebody from Oklahoma, not maybe from Tulsa, but you're near it closer than I am.
Honestly, just kind of what I've known is just kind of like the basics of it. Just kind of, it was a black, a lot of black businesses, a lot of black, just basically just black, powerful black people, and it was taken away, and it's just I don't like to go too much into it because the politics side of it, that aspect, but it's very hurtful to see the people who went through something like that and still can endure something like that and still be like that's why I said that's one of the things I like about black people. You can take away from us, you can do whatever you can to us, and we still gonna come out on top where it can still be legendary. So I just try not to think about the pain aspect of it and just think about, the remembrance of it and how can we reshape it and the positive aspects going forward because it's always going to be someone who can take away from it and want to talk about the pain of what happened. And I'm just at a point now where I'm just like, okay, what's the solutions? How can we get that back? Or different things like that and be an advocate for pushing more black businesses and promoting that and letting everybody know, even teaching my son and other young kids that you can do stuff on your own without having to listen to other people or it's just it's a whole thing. That's a whole different episode that I don't even want to endure. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I hope hopefully one day God will bless me to sit with somebody from Tulsa who can have that conversation because
Yeah.
I knew what I knew from the books and the stuff, but when you
Right.
get closer to like getting to Louisiana, getting closer to Oklahoma, you just hear different things, and especially you start meeting
Right.
people from Oklahoma, you're like, that really happened, and it's a
Yeah.
long. But I really can't wait to sit down with somebody to have that conversation. So,
Yeah.
how did you enjoy your first podcast episode with the cow?
I enjoyed it. I
And we,
enjoy
and
it.
we didn't even talk about no crazy stuff. Like Dayla,
I
how many
know.
times had your ass in the air? Like you said you was in chocolate heaven. So were you with one or two? Did you have any sneaky links? Do we got any kids that we don't know about, Dayla? We don't do all that shit here. We don't do all that. Mm-mm. We say that
Hey.
for your own podcast. You tell on your own podcast your own stories.
Yes, Jesus.
So
We are saved.
amen by the grace of God. Praise him. Praise him. But Dayla, I do really appreciate you getting on. It was an honor, blast. I'm gonna be out there April 13th. I think we had to change the time because something happened with the venue. So it might be pushed up to 1 o'clock. I'll know something. Well, we'll know something by the end of this week. But
Okay.
we gonna be out there. We're gonna be
Okay,
out there.
just let me know the time. I'm there.
So it's gonna be at 405 Cigar Shop. I really do appreciate you, Boo, getting on. If you want to come back, you're always welcome. So yeah, you got anything else you want to say?
No, that's it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Cal Podcast Season 7, man, it's whatever. We got Miss Dayla Thread in here, her first podcast episode with us. Like Pooh and Perk couldn't make it, but like I always say, we're gonna get better and do better. And y'all have a good night.
Alrighty.
G14 classified. That's good.
Headline Starlight. DJ Star.